Well, I guess I got into singing after I started playing guitar, which was a natural progression because someone had to sing the songs that I was writing, and it was a bit kind of reluctant. I went from being someone in a band with a singer-songwriter in the middle of the stage, and I did a little bit of singing, some backing vocals, and I think I was maybe singing one or two songs a night, and to singing a whole night, which was quite quite drastic when you're not like kind of, conditioned for it. It really does take, and I think beyond the physical thing, it's the mental sort of conditioning. Getting nervous is like the worst enemy, and as soon as you lock up, throat it's like someone just grabs it like that. Being relaxed, is like your best friend. I guess if you've chosen the life of just being a studio musician, or I can't imagine what kind of, there are musicians who don't play in front of audiences live and who are still musicians. They make music for film and TV, for instance. There's that kind of thing. But if playing, recording and making records is your thing, well, unless you're going to be in a very, very small elite group that don't tour, then you're going to have to get out there and play. If you're just single-minded about what you do and uncompromising, well, be prepared just to kind of like get some mud kicked in your face occasionally. That's all. But I think the more adaptable you can be, the easier path you'll have, and it's good. I think it's really good to not get too attached to anything. I love all this gear that I'm surrounded by right now, but recently I went to Canada and did some gigs, and where the gigs were, kind of like drive by a few of them, and had to run in and play, and I had to just DI, and it was surprisingly a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I had focused more on other parts of my instrument, things that I could do with it. You just kind of make whatever it is. It's like, okay, I've got this, I'm going to make something out of this now, instead of the usual what I usually go to rely on.
People say I'm crazy, still on my feet. People say I'm crazy, searching on the narrow street.
Well, I guess if people weren't passionate about it around me, I maybe wouldn't be so passionate. It's a simple equation. I would be sort of a lonely island, and it's hard to speculate, but I think I draw off what's happening around me. So it's a kind of a trading off thing, and I guess when I give and I get given back to, that's it. It's a simple kind of equation that just keeps happening. So, as long as people are giving me great feedback and great, vibes back to me, I'll keep wanting to do it. The more you can play in front of people, I really believe that's kind of, even busking is great, like really strengthens different muscles, and it's those sort of gigs where you think, oh, no one is caring, no one's listening, that it's can be really surprising sometimes. And it's also fun, those sort of gigs, because it, call it a paid rehearsal, whatever, that's where you get to experiment and sort of go out on a limb and do things, but just, be always in the back of your mind, remember that, I've been surprised a few times myself where I've done gigs with thinking, what was that, and then someone will come up and say something and you go, wow, luckily I didn't completely just like throw the towel in on that gig, because someone really was listening. Just never, that was said to me years ago by one of my managers, John Woodruff, and he said, you know, don't ever throw a gig in, no matter what. If it's in front of one person, don't ever just toss it in, you know, because you just think, oh, what's the point? That's just, you know, a gig is a gig.